As I'm standing in front of the Scout Terra, this is a brand new pickup truck from an iconic brand that's been dormant for a little while. We're going to take a look at this awesome new truck along with its SUV counterpart, the Traveler, so let's get into it. So behind me here is the Terra Pickup Truck. Now this truck is an electric vehicle, fully electric. It's a dual motor setup, so it's got a motor in the front, motor in the rear, but there's an additional package that Scout is going to be offering called the Harvester, and we'll get into that in just a second. What I want to point out is the beautiful frunk that's here in front of us here. They've done a ton of design work here, and I believe it's really, really thoughtful. So not only does it look really neat, but it's got a couple of cool features that I want to talk about. So one of the things I haven't seen before is a sliding drawer that comes out. There's some additional storage for charging cables and maybe tow straps and whatever you might need for your off-roading use. But the cool thing is here is that this kind of textured lid slides forward and becomes a bench, so you can kind of hang out when you're out in the wilderness. A couple other cool things. You've got some storage along the back here. You've got attachments for whatever gear that you might need, but they've also integrated cup holders over on each side, the left and right side above the headlamps, so that you can kind of turn this whole thing into a bit of a picnic or tailgating or frunk gating party. So really cool design. I love the look of it. We've got beefy tow hooks up front, LED lighting. The whole look of this truck is kind of like a classic, but kind of classical retro with a modern twist. And that's really what they've done with the Scout brand. So Volkswagen acquired Scout and has revitalized it. They've breathed new life into the brand. And what they're doing is they're calling on that history, that nostalgia, but they're bringing it into today's day. So we're electrifying the vehicles, but we're also giving customers the option of a gasoline range extender so that you can push the limits of this truck even further beyond a charging network. Up front on the truck, if you want to know if it has the Harvester range extender, the gasoline engine that acts as a generator to supplement the electric powertrain, you just have to look here on the front passenger fender, and that's where you'll find what I believe to be the fuel filler is going to be behind this door. Of course, this is a prototype, so we can't open it up right now, but it is a production intent design. So that's going to be pretty exciting to see how that works out when we're off-roading, when you're off-grid, or towing. So with the Terra here, it's going to come with default setup for off-road. So you've got big BF Goodrich KO3 tires. You've got a machine-faced 20-inch aluminum wheel on here, and it is a dual motor setup. So you're going to have configurability as far as locking axles. You're going to have all the things that you'll need to get you in and out of sticky situations off-road. I want to take you inside, so let's take a look at the interior. And right away, you're going to notice that the Terra is available with a front bench seat, which I'm so happy to see. This is a 6-passenger pickup truck. So for a family that's got 2 adults and 4 kids, you can throw them in the vehicle and go off on your next adventure. It's great if you just want to be able to have a little bit more space in the front. It's going to have a full down armrest, which is going to give you a little bit more as far as cup holders and storage and that sort of thing. So looking further inside here, you can see we've got the burled wood here. This is like an open grain wood, really kind of high quality. And I love what Scout has done here. They've integrated kind of classical materials, but they've given it kind of a rugged feel along with luxury. So inside here, you're going to notice that it's in a way Rivian-esque, I want to say, but I want to say that in like the nicest way possible. The interior, you're going to get a feel of luxury. We've got a mixture of woods, of synthetic leathers, but really soft to the touch here. Open floor across the front. You'll notice that there is no transmission tunnel because this is an electric vehicle. Now, even with the gasoline range extender, again, you're not adding powertrain. All that gas motor is going to be doing is just simply charging the batteries to allow you to have more distance on your electric powertrain. It doesn't actually drive power to the wheels. The other thing that I'm excited about is how Volkswagen has recently partnered with Rivian to develop all of their software. So inside the Scout vehicles, you're going to notice that the UI is just so crisp. You're going to have a vehicle app, so you're going to be able to access vehicle functions, whether it's lock, unlock, locating the vehicle, and a number of other things. Scout is working on over-the-air updates as well, which is a huge plus. But the thing that I'm most excited about is that Scout is going to be selling direct to consumer. And any of you that have been watching my channel for any period of time, you know that my background is in the dealership network. So this is another gigantic leap forward, just another company coming out similar to Tesla and Lucid and Rivian and a lot of these companies that are selling direct to consumer. That's what the customer base wants, and that's what Scout is going to deliver. So the Terra here is considered a mid-size pickup truck. They've integrated some steps into the lower quarter of the vehicle here. So it allows you to kind of throw a foot up here, top of the tire and up into the front of the bed. And you've got some integrated grab rails here on the back to help you do that. It's really thoughtful as far as kind of the ergonomics and the design of the truck. It's streamlined, but also very, very muscular. It's kind of got a boxy shape, but all of the corners are all sort of soft corners. There's no kind of hard edges, but it alludes to hard edges of kind of the styling of the vehicles in the 1970s. In the back of the vehicle here, you've got room for 3, again, a flat floor because it is an electric vehicle, so no transmission tunnel. You've got controls along the middle there as well, and you know, your window switches, heated seats, all that type of thing. So in the back of the cab here, you're gonna have a drop glass feature. So this whole big back window pane is gonna lower down and give you that open air feeling as you're cruising down the trail. So I wanna be completely upfront with you guys and let you know that Scout is about a couple of years away, so about 2027 before we would see first customer deliveries, but they are working hard on setting up their new factory in South Carolina right now. They've already got the walls up, there's tons of construction going on there, and the state of South Carolina has been extremely supportive of the new Scout brand. So guys, let's take a look around the back of the Scout here, and I just want to show you the some of the really cool features here. So we got kind of this oversized logos here, we've got the Terra inlay right here, and I love how this whole back piece here just lights up with that running light. We're gonna have integrated signals into the side here, but look at the details, the little Terra name right there as well. Now down on the back here, the bumper, we've got these monster tow hooks here, spots to attach a clevis pin as well. And around the back on the quarter, this is where our charge port is gonna be. And around here on the corner is where our charge port is going to be. Now in behind here is the NACS connector, as well as a number of electrical outlets to allow you to plug in some accessories. So let's take a look at the front trunk a little bit closer here. So we can see we've got the cup holders integrated into the quarters there, the front quarters. We've got some LED lighting built in here. We've got some attachment racks for gear. It looks like we've got an air compressor up front here too. This is really kind of a cool plate. Looks like you could mount extra gear for it, or it could be a good place to put perhaps some traction pads or things like that. So down the bottom, we've got our charging cables, perhaps a place to put some tow straps and things like that. And up front, we've got skid plates. So this thing's got the body armor. Again, Scout is built for off-road, and it's going to take whatever you throw at it. The attention to detail in this interior is nothing short of beautiful. We got LED ambient lighting in the door paneling there, but not only there, take a look up here. We've got halo lighting around the panoramic glass roof. So you can imagine how beautiful this thing is going to be to drive out in the wilderness, get that big back window sliding down there, opened up, the air breezing through the cabin as you're in the off-road trails. This truck is just going to be so much fun. I love the open grain wood here, the accent stitching, the two-tone on the doors. It's got kind of like almost like a heavy cloth here on the bottom. Very, very nice. Perforated, almost leatherette on the speaker grille. Again, just, it gives it kind of a luxurious but rugged feel. Rubber mats in here. You can see the accelerator and brake pedal there outlined in aluminum. Really nicely finished. I hope this stuff makes it to production. Now hidden in here, there is a pull-out drawer, kind of acts as a desk, which is really neat, kind of a cool feature. And then Scout has decided to go with a mixture of touchscreen controls as well as manual controls here. So you're going to have things like, you know, heated seat, climate control, you've got volume knobs, all manually available, but you do have a lot of the other controls on the touchscreen. Look at the seat backs in this thing. The attention to detail is just wild. It looks like they have these like removable plates. Those are pretty cool. I wonder what they're used for. Guys, tell me in the comments below, what do you think these plates are on the back of the seat here in the Scout Terra? We've got some other buttons here. Looks like climate control, heated seats. Could be even, look at that, cooled seats back here too. Wow, ventilated seats in the rear. Again, super luxurious, guys. Look at the metal inlays. I love the look of this. Very, very classy, very, very nice. Again, pre-production vehicle, there's going to be some changes to it as time goes on, but this has given you a really good idea of the type of truck that we're going to be looking at rolling down the road here in 2027. Guys, I have an opportunity to speak with Steve Martini, like the drink, and he's the Vice President of Sales and Marketing here at Scout. Steve, thank you so much for just taking a couple of minutes. Just wanted to pick your brain and kind of share with everybody Scout's sort of vision for looking after their customer as far as their experience with this brand, because as we all know, it's been around for a long time, but there's a generation that is maybe not aware of it. So how are you guys handling that?
Well, you know, the iconic saying, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You know this, right?
Yeah.
I found it's about 3 degrees to Scout. Everybody within either their parent or their cousin or their grandparent has had a Scout.
Right.
And so these connections are coming really easily. You know, everyone's has these memories about Scout, how great it was. I went with my grandpa fishing or whatever. So we've shrunk it down from 6 degrees to 3 degrees.
Awesome.
Those connections are building, and the excitement around seeing the brand and the homage to the old models through the roof.
Well, I've noticed online there's been a lot of posts where, you know, Scout will put a post up and somebody will respond with the picture of the Scout they had that they rode around as a kid. And there's kind of this emotion that it kind of pulls from people's kind of heartstrings as far as, you know, their association with the brand. And how's the kind of response been from, you know, since launch? I mean, we all saw the big splash, beautiful, very exciting to see the Terra launch. I mean, being a 6-passenger pickup truck with the bench seat in the front, it was like, oh my gosh, my heart is pounding out of my chest. I was so excited. How's the response been?
Well, you recognize one of the key things. It's all about connection to the vehicle, connection to the people that are with you, connection to the land that you're using and visiting. You know, the bench seat has been huge, you know, and being able to sit, whether it's your child or your significant other or your dog. You know,
absolutely.
We've had so many people say, I'm going to have my dog right here next to me. It's that connection, what it's all about. And then you look at the user interface, it's all about the connection. And there's been some demos going on throughout CES here that shows how the interface works, and everybody in that front can utilize it and connect and interact with it. And then obviously you look at the truck itself and all the features that are built for connection to what you're doing. We talked about tailgating. We talked about how you can use this frunk to put on your skis or snowboard, or how you can, you know, pull up next to a campsite and use all those things. So it's connections to everything around us.
Yeah, you mentioned the UI, and I understand there's you can actually bring up the picture of your dog. Somebody was telling me I want to take a look at that in a little bit.
So highly customizable.
Really cool.
Your connections. And what you want to do.
I mean, we have.
It's really nice. We're trying to think of all those things. We're not thinking about, oh, what's cool, what's this and that. We're thinking about what evokes emotion and excitement and connection. That's what we're thinking about.
Absolutely. Now, we were talking off camera, and we had mentioned that Scout has taken the approach of what they call Scout to consumer. So looking after that purchase process in a way that Scout is able to kind of purvey that experience and kind of give the customer exactly the vision of the brand. And can you speak to that at all as far as how Scout's handling that?
Scout the consumer. We want a one-on-one relationship with every customer. And it isn't easy to do that in this day and age, because a lot of times the relationship is through, you know, your phone or this or that. And of course, we'll have great technology that'll help connect the customers to the vehicle and to us. But there's also people here, and we're listening. You know, one of the biggest things we can talk about, we listened, is our range extender, which we call Harvester. Everyone says, we want a little bit of gas. We want a little bit more range. We want to feel comfortable taking us where we want to go. We listened, we incorporate it. You know where we got that?
Where's that?
Is from the Scout community.
Really?
And listening to them specifically saying, you know, this would make it just absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And we were able to do that. And that is not an easy feat. But there's hundreds of examples of where we're getting feedback from, whether it be a reservation holder or someone in our community that's saying, oh, we would like this, or we would like that. Like this front pull out on the front.
Yes.
That's feedback from customers.
Really?
We want things like that. It would be cool if we had an outlet up here, if we had big cup holders. Well, you see those things. So it's that listening. And then as we evolve to the consumer, when their ownership, we'll be right there too. We'll have all the technology they need to figure out what they want to do, or any challenges, but we'll also have a person available at any time.
Amazing.
That can actively respond and engage with the customer.
Yeah.
And build that community. We want this to be a true Scout community and have that one-on-one relationship.
It seems like it's really moving towards going to be a generational vehicle. So you're able to, to appeal to the people that want to talk to somebody on the phone, or the person just wants to send a message through an app.
Exactly.
Sounds like Scout's. Yeah.
We'll come to wherever the customer is and how they want to interact. So however they want to engage with us, we'll be ready to do it. And we're preparing all those things now. You know what we're doing? We're asking our customers, our community, of how they want to engage too, so that we're ready to do that. Yeah. And we're already doing that with our reservation holders, with our community members. We're engaging them. We're keeping them into the Scout, what's happening at Scout, how these vehicles are evolving, the cool things that we're putting together with them. That's why we're here at CES. We're showing them, hey, you can have satellite connectivity. You can go anywhere in the world and be able to connect with what you want to connect with. We have the harvester. You can add the little extra gas on there if you need to go deep backcountry. All those things. So we're showing that to our potential customers and how they can stay connected to whatever it is.
Yeah, I love the list of features that you guys have integrated into your vehicles, like with the Traveler, having that power cloth roof.
Isn't that cool, the cabana top?
Yeah, and then this thing's got the whole back glass to go down. I mean,
that's been a big one at the show, is I've heard a lot of people talk about, did you know the glass goes all the way down? Yeah.
It's really cool. Like, I just love that the concept of listening to the customer. I mean, heck, even before they've bought it, really to integrate it, to make it such a personalized experience.
Yeah, and now's the time to do that, because we're still working and developing the truck, and the Terra and the Traveler. We can keep incorporating these ideas and things as we get, and when we release and we start production, we're going to have a great offering.
That's exciting.
We're very confident customers are going to love it.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I know everybody online is looking forward to it as well. So, Steve, I just want to thank you so much for the time. Thank you very much. We're excited. This is the Scout Traveler. It's a 5-passenger SUV, and I am absolutely in love with this beast. Again, similar to the Terra pickup truck, we have this kind of boxy, sort of retro 70s vibe, but it's actually been modified to become a little bit more aerodynamic. What was hard edge shapes in the 1970s has become soft corners to allow better airflow and better aerodynamics, because this is an electric vehicle. Up front, we have the optional harvester package that adds a gasoline generator, and what that does is supplements the battery by charging it on the fly, but it's not actually connected to the wheels. All of the driving is done, all the power is delivered by electric motors. Now, this is also available as a pure electric vehicle, so you can just simply plug in, and you're gonna get approximately in the 300, 350 miles of range, but the harvester bumps you up to over 500. So I'm excited to see how that's going to work out. Obviously, once we get the opportunity to drive the Traveler and drive the Terra, I want to see how it's going to perform towing and that sort of thing, but there's certainly instances where that technology is going to give some peace of mind to consumers. So let's talk about the design of the Traveler. The overall shape is very, very classical of a traditional 5-seater, 4-door SUV. It's got that big boxy front end, but up front here, we don't have an engine. We have storage. We have that big comfortable frunk that's got lots of places for accessories, and you can throw your groceries, and that allows you to free up the rear trunk. So again, if you're a family, you can put the stroller back there, you can put the dog back there, camping gear, whatever you need. You're expanding the capability of this vehicle versus a gasoline counterpart. This is going to be what you want as far as convenience, comfort, and storage. Now, up front on the top here is one of my favorite features. This has got a cloth top that has an aluminum substructure, and it's a power opening top. So you can actually open up the Traveler just like a convertible, but you don't lose any of the structure because all of the rollover protection remains in place. We've got a really cool roof rack up top here that has the ability to not only integrate a front LED light bar, but it also can hold a satellite dish. So when you're on the fly, you can stay connected and you can improve lighting and visibility at night. So coming around to the back of the vehicle, you can see we've got a full-size spare tire along with a jerry can, because again, you've got that harvester gasoline generator on board, so you can really push the boundaries of where you can go with the vehicle in kind of an off-road or off-grid type of situation. The other thing that this vehicle can do is is it has the ability to plug in AC power outlets. Now that's located along the other side with the charge port. Of course, Scout is going to be utilizing the NACS charge port, which is a little bit smaller form factor, and you're going to be able to charge them at the Tesla supercharger network as well as anywhere else that charging is available. But what I love about it is you're able to plug into one of those AC outlets. You can power your campsite, power your tailgating party. You can have a lot of fun with the Traveler. So let's take a look at the interior here. Right off the bat, you're going to notice that it's a two-tone format. I love the kind of retro chic vibe. Very luxurious, but also very kind of classic-y, kind of tough look to it. One of the things they've done here is they decided not to go with only touchscreen controls. In speaking with some of the staff here, they said that Scout has really done its best to truly listen to the customer, to take a broad cross section of input, not only from reservation holders, but from study groups and just feedback from the community, even original Scout owners, to say, what is it that we want in our vehicles? And one of the things being, of course, the Harvester range extender, but also the buttons inside the dash. So some of the newer vehicles, they're coming with touchscreen only, but Scout has added some physical buttons. So you've got, you know, the volume knob, and you've got a proper hard button to adjust climate and different things like that. So you're gonna get a mix. Of course, you do still have touchscreen controls. Now, I do understand that Scout and Volkswagen have partnered with Rivian to develop their software. And if you've been in a Rivian product, you know that those guys are on point. So I'm excited to see the UI inside the Scout product. All right, guys, I'm here with Dre of Scout Motors, and he's going to show us kind of the ins and outs of the UI. We're inside the Scout Traveler. So let's take a look. Dre, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with us. What can you tell us about the Scout?
Thanks, man. Good to meet you. Welcome, everybody. So, what's unique about this vehicle? I think one thing I would like to highlight is the combination of tactility and digital. I think that's really time to get this back and right. We have seen vehicles with a ton of buttons and screens, just an afterthought. We have seen massive screens with no buttons. None of that really works. We believe it's time now to bring this together, to have that cohesively working. And what I mean by that is I have the opportunity to use hardware buttons for quick adjustments, bring that really back and have the tactility there. We're honoring the heritage of the brand and celebrating that, but not overloading it. It's very easy to maneuver with this. It feels good to the touch. You can see how responsive the software is, right? I press a button and have the opportunity to either use hardware buttons to fine adjust those things or go deeper in the digital experience for settings and so forth. You see that the screen has this white proportion that was done by purpose because it optimized the reach zone for me as the driver, but also for you as a passenger. Keep in mind we have the bench version as well with the same exact HMI. Really? So for 3 people in the front, you need something like that to have this convenient and safe interaction on the screen. That's super important. And how can that come to life when we're talking about those things? Well, if I want to switch roles and want to have my passenger become the DJ, this is the easy interaction. I can either use my button and swap the UI, or I can swipe it. And that accounts for many things on the screen. It is also applicable for navigation purposes. If I am the navigator and you are the DJ, and I'm tired of your music choice, we can just swap this out and you can become the navigator and find us either the next McDonald's or what have you on the road trip. So you can see how this always works very smoothly. I think for an electric vehicle it is important that we get the navigation and core principles really right, and I think we've done a great job here. You can see my turn by turn navigation. You can see my stops. You have the summarized bottom line for the ETA. You see how many miles I have to go, how much of energy I'm gonna have left, and an easy way to X out of this and cancel my navigation. So nice responsive map and navigation, but also the aesthetics. Now look at this, how this fits in. This is not an afterthought. It is an extension of color and trim story. We have this deep dark blue here on the screen, reminds of a night sky, exploration and connection to the land. That's important for us as a brand, as we want to connect people with each other, build this emotional bond between you and a driver and a car, and the community and the land around us, right? So that's really what we are about. And you can see how this comes to life.
It's beautiful, just beautiful. And so what can you tell us about some of these controls up above here? So I see these switches up top. These are, they look to be, I guess, axle lockers and that sort of thing. So the Scout brand as a brand is very kind of adventure focused, very sort of off-road capable. And how is that kind of tying into sort of the blend of brand and function and features?
So the capability of the car really comes to life when the road ends, right? You can put that vehicle into a different drive mode optimized for off-roading. Let me try to do this. This is a prototype. That means these buttons are not functional, but you can see the intent, the haptic, the tactility, and how they feel. You get a very good sense. So, but I have to use this little app to put this vehicle here in a different drive mode.
Sure.
So, and if I operate the drive mode here, you can this drive mode selector. You can see how the UI offers me this little interface.
Oh, look at that!
Different drive modes here, and then I go in what we call auto mode. Now, what this vehicle does, it activates the front bumper camera, so that's an option. You don't have to have that. If you don't like that moving element here in your driver display, you can turn it off. But it comes default-wise with that, and it also brings already in some widgets. Do you see the pitch and roll as part of the instrument cluster?
I see that, yeah.
So that's what we mean. Like, it's a capable car. We want to provide these features to you so that you can drive that thing safely and push it to the limits. At the same time, we have on the center display now a complete different map. This is a off-road tailored map. So we see
it's like topographical,
elevation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also the look and feel and the aesthetics now really matches with the color and trim, but in a different way.
Yeah, I see
it's
that,
not dark blue anymore. It's also not paper white.
Yes.
It is this nice warm tone corresponding with the UI. So do you see the level of love and detail we're putting in all of those things, that it really feels cohesive? And one thing, the map will come with weather updates, elevation, and trail difficulties.
Wow.
Really tailored for off-roading.
Pick and choose your adventure.
But here's one thing more. This thing has a off-road package option. That means it has a underbody camera, so it's going to fire up. This is a little slower as this is a prototype.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Yeah, we have a front-facing and rearward-facing or back-facing underbody camera, so it allows you to see what's going on while I'm driving. At the bird-eye perspective, underbody, and the front bumper. So if this is too much, you can reduce it. But if you operate in a very difficult terrain, that is exactly what you need to bring yourself and the vehicle safely through this terrain.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Let me X out of here, because this is really just one
Yeah.
of the features the vehicle can provide you. So go back into a regular road aesthetics. So 1 second. Good. Yeah. But now I want to show you the opposite side of the spectrum. Right?
Okay.
You're thinking of all of these features, and it is technically possible to bring everything in you want. But there is a moment in time when you drive on a long trip and it maybe gets dark and you don't feel connected either to the people with you or the land around you, because this is all too much. So what if you go in an detox mode and we decontent the screen? It's basically nothing on here. And it's very easy to exit this. You can still change, obviously, the
temperature and everything, yeah.
With one single tap, I come back. But here's the thing. If I go on a road trip and have, for instance, a navigation running, a routing, right, and go, let's have that picking up here.
Yeah.
If not, gonna go somewhere else. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
We have not the best connectivity at the moment here on this.
It's very responsive though. Yeah.
So let's see that. So I think now we see a short trip, All right, now let me do this again. Go on this display section and activate the use mode.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh wow. It's just a super ultra simplified navigation, and it's got that red lighting, so it's just not too intense. It even includes the charging stop there.
Exactly.
Amazing.
So you have really the core basic information here, everything you need in that very moment. And if you need more, again, you can just tap out of this and have your screen back. It obviously will respond automatically to in terms of brightness and so forth. But this is a step further. Right? So detoxing is really one of the topics we want to do right.
That is exciting. I love the direction this brand is going in. And obviously so much thought has gone into the user interface, and the customer experience, the owner experience in this vehicle is really top shelf. Yeah. So just to wrap up, I just want to say thank you very much, Dre. This has been a great demonstration. I've seen a couple of things I've never seen in a vehicle before. The detox, I love the idea of those off-road cameras. I think Scout owners are going to be extremely happy with the vehicle. Let me ask you one parting question. What is your favorite feature of the Scout?
Thanks for asking. You have seen all my favorite features, but I want to actually bring one up. An electric vehicle has the opportunity to stabilize the interior temperature, particularly when you're leaving. You want to keep a pet in the car. We call it pet mode or dog mode, what have you. And we have seen a variety of executions of that. There's nothing really new about it. But it was one thing I always missed, and I'm a pet owner. I love my dog. And there was this simple idea. It's like, why did never ever anybody came up with that? And here's what it is. So I go in my mode section and choose out of this little interface, the pet mode, okay?
Okay.
Excuse me, I have to go and park. We're currently driving. Let me do this.
Sure, of course.
So pet mode is now available. It's not available when driving, makes sense, right?
Yes.
So we start this thing. Okay, so we have a pet here, and I can change the temperature. There's nothing really new about it. This is a different design. All right, good. But look at this. With our mobile application, it allows me now to
upload image
and can personalize the screen with my animal. These are you can call it gimmick. I don't mind. I don't think so. I think this makes user feel a specific way, and that is what we want to achieve.
No, this is a connection. Look at this.
It is a connection machine.
Because these our furry friends are members of the family, and now you can personalize it into your vehicle.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I love that.
Thank you so much. I want to use the opportunity to shout out to my team, to the entire design team, to everybody in Scout. We can see this. We really with the brand, we want to bring this to a top-notch level of experience, and the team is awesome. It's great working with everybody, and we're super excited to be part of this journey here.
And of the team members I've met, I completely agree. It's a great team here, and I'm super excited for where Scout goes next. So thank you again, Dre. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
So Scout has mentioned that pricing for the vehicles is going to start in the $60,000 range, which I'm really excited to hear, because I think the last thing we need is another $100,000 plus SUV, electric SUV hitting the market. So price point seems like the sweet spot for a vehicle with this level of luxury, with this level of refinement. And I am super pumped to see the actual vehicle once I can get a chance to drive it on the road. But I mean, the $60K price point seems pretty good. Take a look at this interior. Absolutely gorgeous. I love what they've done here, kind of knurling knobs, very kind of tangible feel to it. We got French stitching on the flat bottom, two-tone steering wheel here. Really nice attention to detail. We've got accent stitching around here. We've got some auxiliary switches here, so you can add in things like light bars and perhaps some floodlighting and whatnot around the vehicle. So that is exciting to see that they're thinking about customers upfitting and modifying, customizing the vehicle. This bar along the top here, you can see there's a GoPro mount on there, and so you'll be able to mount up all sorts of different electronics and accessories, which looks good. The center console here, we can see we've got some USB-C ports there, wireless charging pads. Somebody's got their phone in there. And then this is cool. I love this kind of textured tray. I mean, I'm always looking for places to put stuff, and a good center console goes a long way. Got some padding there. That opens up. There's also some deeper storage down in the bottom. Let's take a look at the seat design here. Beautiful kind of ergonomic design on the top here. This is kind of a tweed type fabric, a three-dimensional weave. Very nice textile. We have some aluminum trim coming in the bottom here. And look, there's a little bit of kind of like anodized copper sort of peeking through on the corner there. Coming down here, we have the bar inlay kind of mid-shoulder, and it's got the Scout emblem, three-dimensional on there. That's pretty sweet. We've got a perforated sort of saddle brown leather. Nice bolstering, not too aggressive, because this is, again, this isn't like a performance vehicle, but it's enough to hold you in place when you're doing some spirited off-roading. Let's take a look at the controls further down. Again, it's really looking really cool. Almost has like a little bit of like a steampunk vibe to it, with this knurled knob here, kind of chiseled out, kind of mitered out switches here. So you've got your seat back and the lower seat portion here. The seat risers are done beautifully, anodized aluminum, again with the Scout logo. I like that idea versus putting it on the door sill. They've just got kind of like the standard plastic door sill, because that's going to get scuffed up. Nobody's going to be stepping here, so it's going to keep that area nice and clean. And this area here is just going to have a good amount of wear and tear to it. So very, very thoughtful. Just some of these little accents that you may not pick up on when you first look at the Scout. This button here, I believe, is for the tilt telescopic steering. We've got an interesting design here on the switchgear. It looks pretty cool. Kind of some little accent colors here. I'm hoping a lot of this makes it to production. Take a look at the door trim here, the paneling. We've got the lower speaker, and it's got kind of a tartan plaid fabric over top. I like that look. That's pretty slick. So guys, this is the Scout brand. We've seen the Traveler, we've seen the Terra, and I am so excited for where this brand is going. I know that in speaking to some of the representatives here at Scout, they have said that the excitement is just off the charts. And so I can't wait to see where this brand goes. Again, this is a new company, a division of Volkswagen, and they're not using traditional dealerships. They're selling direct to consumer. So I'm excited to see where this thing goes. We'll see you in the next video. So what are my thoughts on Scout Motors? Well, I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest. I've seen that, you know, they've got a beautiful product. Obviously, I haven't driven it. They're pre-production prototypes, but they look really good. The specs seem quite promising. 350 miles of range in an off-road based vehicle is not too bad. And of course, with the range extender, for those that are interested in that, you know, getting over 500 miles of range, it's pretty appealing. I can't argue with that. As far as the company itself, I love the fact that they're going direct to consumer. I think we're going to see more brands coming along and kind of taking this, you know, I'm talking like Legacy Automotive brands. I think we're going to see, you know, more companies kind of popping up, you know, new brands, spin-offs from the Legacy Auto companies, and taking the approach that Scout has here with Volkswagen, going direct to consumer. They're able to control the experience, the purchase experience, the service experience, everything about it, really, the entire brand adventure, as it were, for the consumer. And so they have that retained control taking this approach. So I do love that. The vehicles look great. The design is excellent. Then we talk about, you know, software. They've got Rivian on board, and Rivian has proven to be really good software, especially compared to what's traditionally been out there in Legacy Auto. In fact, Volkswagen is one of the companies that, you know, it really did not have good in-vehicle software. So with, you know, Rivian coming on board and looking after the Scout platform, my understanding is that these are actually the first vehicles that are going to be part of the, you know, product of the Rivian joint venture. So I'm super pumped to see that. Now, it is a little bit early because, like I mentioned, it's 2027 that we'll expect to see these vehicles, you know, rolling out of the factory and into the driveways of customers. But with the backing of a huge conglomerate like Volkswagen, I think it'll be okay. Volkswagen's got pretty deep pockets, and the interest in this brand has been nothing but positive. I mean, I have yet to come across somebody here at the show or in just my day-to-day conversations who's had anything negative to say about the product, about the design, the specs. I think what they're doing here is is pretty smart. And finally, you know, some positivity coming out of a legacy company. I am looking forward to seeing where the brand goes. No doubt I'll be continuing to cover them a significant amount more. Actually, I made some great connections with some fantastic people here at the show. And so I just want to shout out to Scout and the team here. Thank you so much for humoring me, for your support, and for putting on just a fantastic display here. I know we're going to be doing some work together in the future, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, I'm just excited to explore these vehicles.